So I'm here doing a battery swap, and the technician just gave me a bottle of water.
Watch to the end for some mind-blowing information.
Now, today we're going to react to a video made by Warren Redlich. He's got a much bigger channel than I do, about 4 times bigger. He's got 58K subs. And this video is 3 reasons battery swap is stupid. Elon Musk. And man, we're going to watch it. We're going to show you my reactions. Of course, you guys know that I'm a NIO owner myself. I've been battery swapping all day, every day. Well, not all day, but once a week probably. And I've been using battery swap a lot. I love it, man. I love battery swap. It's the future. Let's check out this video. I'm gonna show you my reaction. It's gonna be entertaining. Let's go. Put on my trusty earphones. 3 reasons battery swap is stupid.
For Patreon,
now, I'm sure he's not. He's a pretty cool guy. I'm sure he's pretty chill.
You t-shirt. But let's talk about why battery swap is stupid.
All right.
Are you ready? Let's
All right, I'm ready. Let's go. Let's go.
The choice of a battery pack swap.
So cool. This is an old video of Elon Musk.
Gas tank.
Back in 2013, Tesla tried out a battery swap option with the Model S. They shot this video comparing the Model S using battery swap to a Mercedes filling up at a gas station to show that it was quicker. This wasn't really a real-world example, and the battery swaps in reality actually took closer to 7 minutes, which was still a lot quicker than a supercharger.
7 minutes? That sounds
ultimately, Tesla decided this was not an effective way to go forward. More recently, the Chinese car company NIO has started a battery swap program in China. NIO is pinning its future success, at least in part, on this battery swap as supposedly a good way of replacing vehicle charging with a faster way of getting vehicles to a full charge. This battery swap station is large and probably costly. We don't know exactly how much, and this is part of the problem.
So he doesn't know the cost.
Battery startup in San Francisco called Ample. It is basically doing the same idea, a battery swap. Somehow, lots of people think this is a good idea, and you can see here the idea is the vehicle drives in, battery swap is accomplished, vehicle drives out. It happens quicker, that's true, but this fails to see some of the significant problems with the battery swap concept.
One of the ways that Ample makes battery swapping safe is that we have these very small modular batteries. So rather than moving a battery that is multiple tons,
smaller battery, less range,
cells, we just move these very small ones where they can be much more easily moved around.
So this is good if you're within
So that's a little bit nonsensical. No significant EV that I'm aware of has multiple tons of cells in them. Tesla vehicles use battery cells that typically have better than 250 watt-hours per kilogram in their energy density of their cells. So if you had 400 kilograms of battery cells in a Tesla, that would be a 100 kilowatt-hour pack. So that 400 kilograms is far less than multiple tons. It's not even 1 ton. It's not even half a ton. And of course, a Model 3 or Model Y with a 75 kilowatt-hour pack or a 54 kilowatt-hour pack is even smaller in terms of weight. So there's no multiple ton problem here, and it makes you wonder how much battery are they installing or swapping on these vehicles. It may be that these batteries don't hold a lot of miles and you get that much charge on a Model 3 or Model Y at a supercharger station in 5 minutes anyway. Let's talk about the problems with battery swap. First, the battery swap station costs a lot. We don't know exactly how much they cost. A lot. But I'm going to ballpark it and say for the price of 1 battery swap station, you can deploy 20 superchargers, 20 Tesla superchargers. Let's say the battery swap station completes the swap in 5 minutes, and it's able to do 12 vehicles an hour, right? Because 5 minutes, 12 times, that's an hour. 20 superchargers can charge more than 20 vehicles an hour, so you get more throughput in supercharger stations than you get in battery swap stations. Most likely the battery swap stations will not even manage to do it 5 minutes because you have to get the vehicles in and out. Vehicles are going to be waiting to get in. So you may be looking at a smaller throughput like 10 vehicles an hour. And on the other hand, when you look at superchargers, if a supercharger is able to charge a vehicle pretty close to what it needs in a half hour, and you have 10 of them, you're able to get 20 vehicles through in an hour versus 10 on the swap station.
They're not all going to take 1 hour to charge,
Superchargers are a much more cost-effective way to achieve throughput, to getting more vehicles charged in less time. The other big problem with battery swap stations is batteries. We have a shortage of batteries. One of the challenges in producing more electric vehicles is we don't have enough batteries.
That is
true. In order
true.
to have
You
a
have
battery
a
swap
shortage of
station
batteries.
system, you have to have extra batteries on hand to swap in and out with the existing vehicle's batteries, which means you need probably twice as many batteries, which means you can only make half as many vehicles. That is a very, very inefficient use of batteries, because you're going to have batteries sitting there. Any battery that's sitting there in a swap station waiting to be swapped
Man,
is
you
a
haven't
battery
hit
that
the
could have been in
jackpot,
a
my
vehicle
friend.
powering yet another EV on the roads. Until we get to a point where we have plenty of battery supply and there's no question about a shortage, then maybe battery swap would make a little more sense in that context. You still have the other problems. But even
Let's hear
then,
the other problems, my
dubious,
friend.
hard to see that this works. But for some reason, this idea captivates people, and it's been around for a long time. Elon and Tesla figured it out really quick. Other people just don't seem to get it. The third problem with battery swap is it ignores the latest advances in battery technology and vehicle technology, in particular structural pack. Tesla is moving from a world where we have
pack.
battery cells and modules.
That's a cool
modules
little
and
thing.
packs
I gotta
and
note this
vehicles.
down, man.
Tesla is moving to a world of structural battery packs
Structural
where the
pack.
batteries themselves become part of the structure of the vehicle. This radically improves vehicle efficiency because you're saving a lot of weight, and it also makes the chassis more rigid, which Elon has explained in the past.
So Elon has explained in the past, structural pack, it's really nice, right? No doubt about it. Makes the cars a lot more structural rigid. That's nice, but what if your car battery degrades? How are you gonna solve that? You're gonna switch out the whole chassis? You got a bad battery, a battery's malfunction, you're gonna switch out the whole chassis? My friend. You see, these things aren't built to last. Alright, let's continue. 3, 2, 1.
What we call it the structural battery, where the battery for the first time will have dual use. The battery will both have the use as an energy device and as structure. In the early days of aircraft, they would carry the fuel tanks as cargo. So the fuel tanks actually were quite difficult to carry. They were like basically worse than cargo. You had to kind of bolt them down. It was very difficult. And then somebody said, hey, what if we just make the wing tanks, what if we just make the fuel tank in wing shape? So all modern airplanes, the fuel tank, your wing is just a fuel tank in wing shape. This is absolutely the way to do it. And then the fuel tank serves as dual structure, and it's no longer cargo. It's fundamental to the structure of the aircraft. This was a major breakthrough. We're doing the same for cars. Effectively, the non-cell portion of the battery has negative mass. So we save so much mass in the rest of the vehicle. We save more mass in the rest of the vehicle than the non-cell portion of the battery. So it's like, well, how do you really minimize the mass of a battery? Make it negative. Make the battery non-cell
This
portion
is
of the
good
battery
if you're
pack
pumping
negative.
out numbers
It also
like
allows
Tesla
us
are,
to pack
pumping
the
out
cells more
vehicles.
densely because we do not have
And you're
intermediate
hoping that a
structure
few
in the
years
battery
later,
pack.
they're going to
instead
buy
of
a new
having
one.
these, like, supports and stabilizers and stringers and structural elements in the battery, we now have a lot more space in the battery because the pack itself is structural. Instead of having just a filler that is
It is a nice idea, but,
what is
you know,
in the
I'll talk about this
battery
later,
packs,
alright?
we have a filler that is a structural adhesive, as well as flame retardant. So it effectively glues the cells to the top and bottom sheet. And this allows you to do shear transfer between the upper and lower sheet. This gives you incredible stiffness, and it's really the way that any super fast thing works is you create basically a honeycomb sandwich with two face sheets. This is actually even better than what aircraft do, because aircraft do not do this. They can't do this because fuel is liquid. So in our case, the batteries are solid. So we can actually use the steel shell case of the battery to transfer shear from the upper and lower face sheet, which makes for an incredibly stiff structure.
This is just another way of Tesla cutting costs, saving money, making sure that your Tesla, you know, if the battery goes wrong, well, we can't fix your battery because it's with the chassis, and man, you're just gonna have to buy a new one.
In the top one, we've got that sort of all the supports and stuff. So the volume,
which is actually good for investors, all right? But for a owner, that would suck.
And because they're closer to the center, it reduces the probability of of a side impact potentially contacting the cells, because it has to go, any kind of side impact has to go further in order to reach the cells. It also proves what's called the polar moment of inertia, which is that you can think of like when there's ice skater, arms out or arms in. Arms in, you rotate faster. So if you can bring things closer to the center, you reduce the polar moment of inertia, and that means the car maneuvers better. It just feels better. You won't know why, but it just feels more agile.
If you do battery swap, you can have structural pack. Your vehicles can't be as efficient. Your vehicles can't be as dynamic. They won't have the same handling characteristics. You're really limiting your ability to make.
You know what?
Efficient,
I've driven a Tesla.
Performance.
I've driven a NIO.
All kinds of things that you
don't talk about handling.
You've limited
Tesla versus NIO handling.
From achieving the.
All right, acceleration, Tesla, you win, man. But handling,
to make electric
no. NIO's taking the cake with handling, my friend.
Better for drivers, better for people, better for humanity. So that's 3 reasons why battery swap stations are stupid. If you like this video, please check out my other videos.
That was it.
And please support this channel on Patreon, links below. Check out the t-shirts, links below, elonbits.com. Of course, please subscribe to the channel, share this video with your friends, smash the like button, and thank you so much for watching.
All right, so let's crack this video down. Now, definitely do check out his channel, subscribe to his channel if you haven't already done so. He does make a lot of cool videos. Now, let's talk about a few of the things. Why Tesla stop doing battery swaps, because first of all, battery swap is very, very expensive to operate. All right, it is very expensive to operate. It is more economically feasible for people to go charge and pay a fee for that, and it is, you know, what he said was correct. You can service more people through charging than battery swapping. That was when he made that video. But right now, you know, one generation 2.0 battery swap station holds 13 batteries, my friend. 13! Man. And it's swap and go, my friend. And what if you live in a place where land is tight? Somewhere like New York or Beijing. There ain't that many places for you to place superchargers. And NIO's battery swap station only takes up 4 parking spaces. And these generation 2.0 swap stations can do up to 312 swaps in a day. From 4 parking spots, right? If you had 4 parking spots worth of superchargers, there's no way you can service 312 cars in a day. And because land might be really tight in certain cities, with superchargers, you can only have maybe 4 or 5 or 6 chargers at that one location. And what would have to end up happening is people would have to wait in line, and there would be a massive line of Teslas or cars waiting to charge. And another reason why Tesla abandoned that was because some people, they really didn't want to their battery to be swapped out for maybe a battery that's more degraded. All right, that was you know, that's a fear that a lot of new NIO owners have as well. That was also a fear that I had when I first got my NIO. I wouldn't go swap it, man. I got a brand new spanking new battery. I'm not gonna swap it for an old degraded one. But you know, at the end of the day, NIO's battery management system is top notch, man. Every single battery pack has its own computer, has its own operating system to monitor every individual module inside that battery pack. And every time you go for a swap, it's also a diagnostic opportunity for NIO to check the health of the battery, every single module, and update its software for the battery. And if any of the modules inside the battery pack have seen problems or has certain amount of degradation, NIO can swap out the module and not just the entire battery pack. And he also said shortage of batteries. Man, shortage of batteries is a pretty significant problem. But what battery swap aims to solve is time. All right? Because charging a Tesla takes a lot of time. Charging any EV is a lot of time. And if you got a home charger, that's cool. But sometimes if you're on the road, right, you're going long distances, you ain't got time to charge, right? You gotta go somewhere and you're late for that meeting or something, right? With battery swap, you just drive, and then once you're out of juice, right, you just swap and go. And NIO has built a ton of battery swap stations on highways everywhere, cities. So there's that added benefit. And then there's NIO swap station costs. Sure, each swap station costs a lot more to build than traditional chargers. All right, traditional chargers are pretty simple to build. You don't have to pay a worker to be there to help you with the battery swaps. But what battery swap does save on is land rental fees. Because if you want to deploy that many superchargers all over the place, you're gonna have to rent land from a lot of different places. It's gonna cost you quite a lot of money. And I can tell you, in China, especially where there's a lot of population but land is scarce, land rental is actually pretty expensive. With swap stations, they can deploy more and actually save the money on rental, on land renting, and with that money they can actually build more swap stations. And then he talked about structural pack, which is pretty amazing for Tesla to do, but that does come with the problem of what if one of the battery cell goes dead, right? What if there's battery degradation? I mean, every single EV experiences battery degradation. It's not a problem that you can easily solve. But with NIO, with battery swapping, man, it's taken care of, right? You don't have to worry about battery degradation. NIO takes care of that. You swap that battery out, they're gonna check the health, make sure it's all up to par. That's a huge reason why I bought NIO. And with battery swap, you're really saving your own time by using NIO's time to charge that battery. What do I mean by that? Well, instead of charging the battery to full by yourself, which takes maybe 2 hours at like a charger, NIO does that for you at the swap station so that when you get there, you can get a fully charged battery, right? You don't have to wait for it to charge. It charges in that battery swap station, saving you a ton of time. I gotta admit, structural pack is a great move by Tesla. It does save them a lot of money. It does improve their efficiency, means they can put more cells in the car at a lower weight, more range, but it does mean that if your Tesla encounters battery degradation, you're out of luck. It's just gonna degrade. And Tesla's ultimate goal is for you to buy a new Tesla. With Teslas, your range is gonna decrease over time. But with NIO, your range is gonna increase over time. Why? Because battery swap also has the added benefit of upgradability. This is the most amazing part about battery swap. See, Elon Musk has this battery day every single year, and he's gonna announce some new revolutionary battery tech that's gonna improve the mileage of EVs, and that's all cool. But if you already have a Tesla, it's got nothing to do with you, right? You already own a Tesla. If you want that, you gotta buy a new Tesla. But with NIO, when they announce a new battery, every single NIO owner can enjoy the benefits of the new battery via a battery swap, right? It's a simple battery swap. NIO is gonna release the 150 kilowatt hour battery pack, and when that happens, a lot of NIO owners are gonna upgrade to that, right? And all it takes is a swap, right? You've never seen an EV that can upgrade your batteries except in NIO with battery swapping. And it gets even better. Let's say I don't want to upgrade, man. But what you can do is you can rent a large capacity battery. And this is the truly mind-blowing thing. Say I'm going on a road trip, the 70 kilowatt hour batteries just ain't gonna cut it. Doesn't give me enough range. I can rent the 150 kilowatt hour battery for 1 month for my road trip, drive it, right? And then once I'm back, after that road trip, after my vacation, I can swap back to my 70 kilowatt hour battery. Boom! That sort of flexibility, that's not something you get, especially with this structural pack. Alright, that's going to decrease the flexibility even more. This, my friend, is also why NIO is the way to go, my friend. I would never buy a Tesla, man, because the battery degradation you see in those, especially those if you drive it very often, man, it does not look good. Check out my official merch and check out this video. Without further ado, stay safe, stay healthy, peace out.